Welcome to the Heritage Christian Online School webcast with your host, Allana Lemke.
Part of our mandate, I believe, of being a parent is how it says in Deuteronomy 6 verses 1 to 7 is just Moses was speaking and telling telling Israel how basically to raise your children to know God, to know who He is, and how do you do that? Well, it's by living your life authentically and your faith authentically before them. So when you get up in the morning, how you react to certain situations, speaking God's word, speaking it to them. It even says to write it on the doorpost of your house. Write His word. Are you engaging in conversations? Are you reading the Bible to your children? Are you praying with them? Are you seeking forgiveness when you mess up as a parent? Are you modeling all of that before your child? And so you get an opportunity. Homeschooling allows you to have the time factor because you are living before them day in and day out throughout the day. It opens up those lines of communication with your children. They're kind of constantly open. So as you're doing laundry and gathering laundry out of the dryer, I had one of my students' children come to me and ask, can you explain the Trinity? I don't get this Trinity thing. So, okay, out goes the laundry, and then we just sit down and we have a chat about it. Or we're in the car driving and questions just pop up about faith and about the Lord in the most bizarre times. And because we're in this constant flow of communication, we're just open and free to talk about it. We don't have to build up those, when the kids get home from school and kind of build up that comfort zone where they're able to just unleash. It's just kind of, they're unleashing throughout the day asking those questions, those really pointed questions. When we get to share about it just then and there as the Lord gives us wisdom.
I think that's a very succinct and beautiful way to describe it. You have done a wonderful job.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm serious. Really did. You went right to the heart of the matter.
Okay.
That your children are protected as well, and not only that, but the social skills. Let's talk about the social aspect of that. Can you explain the advantages of the social aspect when you have a homeschooled child?
I think the social aspect of homeschooled children is that it's not just peer driven, it's intergenerational driven. And so you have all sorts of ages of family members or friends or learning co-op mates that are basically influencing your child. And it's not just their peers, but they are able to sit down and comfortably have a conversation with anybody of any age. And I love that children who are homeschooled often can just sit down at a table with adults and have a conversation with them, with grandparents and have a conversation with them, and not feel that they have to be shy or that their voice can't be heard or they can't make eye contact. And I like that there's just a natural freedom and grace in communicating, conversing with people. Socially, I find it's sometimes difficult because there are so many opportunities to get involved, especially here in the city in Abbotsford. And we sometimes have to kind of pull back a little bit because we could literally be away from the home 5 days a week if we wanted to throughout the day of the various activities that there are to be involved with, field trips and other learning opportunities. We have a learning center. It's a half-day school that runs here in the new year from January to May. Parents get together. It's a massive co-op. We have about 150 students that participate in that. And so it's fantastic, great learning. We've got other learning camps that happen that Heritage Christian Online School runs throughout the whole province, and great learning opportunities to be involved with. And so they're constantly with peer groups, but not just peer groups. They're with other.
So this half-day learning thing happens every day, did you say?
It happens Fridays from January to May. Every second Friday it runs.
Nice.
Yeah.
And where is it?
It's at various churches. It has been at Northview in the past. It's
So it hops around.
Yeah, it does. There is a new church around. I can't think. Sorry, mine just went blank.
That's okay, but that's neat because it goes to different churches. Then you get to see different
ones that are big enough to host us, because we need at least 14 to 20 classrooms. There are only so many churches that are structurally big enough to hold us. Well, we have babies all the way up to grade 12 students, and so making sure we have enough space for all of us to gather and to be able to break off into small 3-hour. We have 3 1-hour classes that are taught on a Friday morning by all the moms take turns teaching and then helping in a classroom, and then also getting an hour break, a coffee break, where we get to
And how many
connect with other
kids?
moms.
How many kids?
I think there's about 150 students that come to that. So
It's like 19 Kids and Counting. You ever seen that show?
yeah, that's right.
I love that show.
Yeah,
And they have a
yeah.
huge job just getting 19 kids
Exactly,
going.
yeah.
I can't imagine 150.
Yeah. So it's a fantastic, well-run.
Oh,
Yeah, so
man.
it's good.
You know, I would have loved to be a kid back
Yeah.
at homeschooled, you know? I mean, come on, you just get to have so much fun.